All right, welcome back. Welcome back. Here's a quick update on the Diddy story. Apparently, Cassie has broken her silence. Cassie thanks. Let me see what they said here. Cassie thanks everyone for their love. Okay, let me just read the actual statement. It says, "Thank you for all of the love and support from my family, friends, and strangers, and those I have yet to meet." By the way, Cassie is the young lady who was unfortunately was caught on video. Well, she was being beaten on video by Diddy. Diddy was caught on video over the past few days. Basically beating up this young lady who was his girl at the time. So she's filed lawsuits before the video came out for $30 million. They've settled. She's moved on. She had not said anything up to this statement. So here we go. She said, "Thank you for all of the love and support from my family, friends, strangers, and those I have yet to meet. The outpouring of love has created a place for my young self to settle and feel safe now. But this is only the beginning. Domestic violence is the issue. If it broke me down to someone I never thought I would become. With a lot of hard work, I am better today. But I will always be recovering from my past. Thank you to everyone that has taken the time to take this matter seriously. My only ask is that everyone open your heart to believing victims the first time. It takes a lot of heart to tell the truth out of a situation that you were powerless in. I offer my hand to those that are still living in fear. Reach out to your people. Don't cut them off. No one should carry this weight alone. This healing journey is never ending. But this support means everything to me. Thank you." Now, here's the thing with that statement, okay? A lot of men are pushing back, okay? And I understand why. There's also been a lot of outbreak of stories of people that ended up in jail and they found out that a lie was told against them. Okay, so that part where she said, my only ask is that everyone open your heart to believing victims the first time. Let me tell you how I processed that statement, why it's not a big deal for me. She said victims. Okay, she said victims. Okay, she's not saying that you should. Hold on one second. Sorry. Hold on. All right. Still, sorry about that. She said victims. How can I disagree with that, right? She's also, if you know math, if you know how to unpack, if you're truly logical, okay, she's also insinuating that you should ensure that person is a victim. Okay, but that's kind of impossible to tell you the story. So you kind of have to believe their story. Well, just wait. If you don't believe the story, do you have to say something? You don't have to say anything, right? Everybody has their own level of instincts, or whatever you want to call it, intuition, that you can believe a person or they can believe or not. But people that also tend to be loud about this, they have their own biases. Okay, they have a tendency to not believe anything. Okay, they will even drag you as a victim before you continue the story. You'll say, why are you there? Why are you wearing that? How come I can see your cleavage? People that tend to also push against that kind of statement, they tend to be like that. You can tell what their bias is up front. Okay, the key here is to have empathy. When somebody comes out and they tell a story and they say, or they claim they are a victim, apply empathy. Apply brakes on your ability to empathize. Okay, sometimes what that means is just listen a little bit longer. You don't have to overthink it. You don't have to say, hey, should I just believe everybody? You're overthinking it, and if you're not careful, you're telling on yourself. Okay, you're telling on yourself. So I don't see anything wrong in the statement that she's made, considering the numbers, the statistics when it comes to DV, right? I don't see anything wrong with what she's saying. Of course, there's exceptions to every rule, right? Of course, that's sad when everybody gets a lie told against them and they have to fight a case that's not really real in court. Sorry. But when you look at the statistics, which I don't have handy right now, when you see somebody say, hey, I've been the victim, and especially if the stories are adding up, knowing the kind of power that Diddy had in his hands, like, why would you need to push against that? By the way, if you brought Ryan, what's his name? Ryan, what's the name of the ex of this lady? Somebody remind me. Somebody keeps bringing the name of this guy. Cassie's ex. Let me see if I can find it. Cassie's ex. Somebody keeps bringing his name into this conversation. The person that she was with, the person that allegedly brought her into the industry, some kind of Ryan, I forgot his name, some Harvard educated guy like that. Anybody help me in the chat, please? Who's that person? See, I forgot his name, but some people have had the name of this guy on their mouth over the past 24 to 48 hours. And it's just very sad. If you brought his name into this conversation, you are lame. You are lame. Okay. She has been with him since 2007. Right. So she left that person long before 2007. So a lot of people are saying that guy was a good guy, and she left a good guy to go be with a bad boy. And it's either they're insinuating, right? They're insinuating that she deserved what she got, or they are talking on both sides of their mouth. Either way, that's terrible. That's a terrible thing to do, and you're a lame person if you did that. Let me see if I can find it. His name was Ryan Leslie. Ryan Leslie. If you brought Ryan Leslie name into this conversation, you're a lame person. Not just a lame husband or lame boyfriend, you're a lame person. Okay? And there's a good chance that somebody is sleeping with your girl. All right? That's a past history. Okay? So I'm looking at the comments here. So I want to look at some of these comments. Somebody said, Cassie girl, why you took the money instead of putting him in jail? I think she couldn't. I think they said it was beyond the statute of limitation. Okay. I really want to say that's a stupid question, but I won't say that. You could tell a lot of your beat on your significant other because these comments are wild. Okay. I haven't seen them comment. Somebody say, you're still defending Diddy? Wow. All right. So it's a lot of people out there, believe it or not. And they want me to acknowledge them that, hey, they're defending Diddy. It must mean that they have a valid reason. Nah. I refuse to. Okay. I pay for my time. I will acknowledge you. The number of uneducated and inconsiderate responses on here is not given at all. Let me see if I can find some of them. Heavy on believing victims the first time. The footage was heartbreaking. I'm just happy she found a good man at the end of it all. So when they say believe victim also too, that's a loaded statement. It's not. It's a loaded statement. It just means empathy, okay? If somebody says they've been a victim, and the first thing you're doing is assuming in the back of your mind that they're probably lying, yeah, you're lame, essentially, okay? Sorry. Yeah, you need to get it together. Her only ask is that everyone should capitalize it for us men, believe women the first time. Yet most men are blabbering about not believing women the first time around. At some point, we have to have our women back, brothers. That's the idea. The idea is for women and children to feel safe in our society. But of course, you want to argue semantics. How didn't we? Of course. And then you want me to hear you. No, pay for my time. I will hear you. Okay? I can only imagine what he was doing to her behind closed doors. It was comfortable enough to do that in public. Protect survivors, not predators. Somebody said, my mom was a victim of domestic violence, and as a little girl watching your mom stay in with a man who did so much damage to her physically and mentally, and she never pressed charges against him. we would call the cops. He would hide, and she would lie to the cops and tell them he had left. For the life of me, I couldn't understand why, and I'm grown now, and I still don't understand why it lasted as long as it did. I just knew I was going to never be that person my mom was. It's called Stockholm Syndrome. Some of these men that are defending this nonsense, they have the same Stockholm Syndrome. I'm sure it wasn't the money, because my stepdad ain't have no money. I'm not sure what this man be having. Again, you think it's money because you keep discounting emotions, or you don't understand that emotions no be your mates. All right. But anyway, that's that for that. She broke out. She said some things. I think the statement is pretty apt, in my opinion. I don't think anybody should dwell on any part of it unless you have something to tell us. First, it was that she was lying. Now that we know, because again, the bias is real. That's why Shalaye doesn't work. Unless you're creating content, of course. You almost cannot convince people that have existing biases. Okay? All right? And by the way, they have stories for days to back up the bias. So, because that's really all they consume. Now that they know she didn't lie, it is why did she wait so long, or why did she take the money? She earned every cent. The prosecutor filed charges, not victims. Yes, that's another sign of ignorance. Literally, uneducated people. Right? So let me just ask in love, hey baby, Cassie, why didn't you still sound lame? The point is not that you ask in love, it's the content of what you say. Before we even worry about the context of how you said it, the content is ignorant. Educate yourself, or keep listening until you get it. Thank you, Marriott. I think Marriott is a lawyer. Itaya Mio. Anyway, do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, let me know what your thoughts are. We will continue to cover this Diddy story, by the way. Check out this next segment. We're literally at the top of the hour.